For each composition, you'll just place the name of the obvious thing that you're demonstrating here, and so type a single word should be part of each composition. Where you place that, as long as it's any typeface other than myriad, I'm fine with it. It's just think about how you can make the type an active part of the composition, and be aware that you can actually eyedrop color if you want from the photos and make your type um, match the color of the composition. But to submit this, you're going to package the files. Now, a lot of times if I'm going to send something to print, I just export this as a PDF. That's fine if all I'm going to do is print, and it works really well. But sometimes you need to give your files to somebody else who's going to modify them as part of a system, and I want you to get used to understanding how that works. It's pretty simple. So in Illustrator, I'm going to go to File, Package. I might have to save it first because I've moved some things around, so that's fine. But then it's going to ask me my file name is Blight's Comps. I'm going to save it to the desktop just for now. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm just going to click Package. Illustrator is going to tell me, hey, some of the fonts you're using here are license restricted, and you can't just give them away to everybody. And I just go, okay, I'm sending it to somebody we trust. So just do your job, Illustrator. And then it says it was created successfully. So if I come to the desktop, I can see that there's a Blight's Comps folder, and it's got a comps report, the comps Illustrator file, the font that I used has been packaged here, and the links of the images that I placed are also gathered. So it's got everything I need to give to someone. I'm going to change the name of the folder, Blight's Comps Illustrator, for reasons that will become evident shortly. The next thing I'm going to do is go to my Indesign file. Again, I'm incorporating the name of my object somewhere, but similarly, I just go to File, similar to Illustrator, File, Package. It's going to tell me all my links are okay. 21 links found, nothing missing, 19 used. It always has this little warning, but there's nothing missing. Package. You can give it a file name. This is usually something that when you're sending it to a printer, they might want this contact information, but for us, you can just give it your file name. Continue. Again, I'm going to save this to the desktop, so I'm making sure that's where I'm saving it. Package. This for this file, because I've got my grid in here, because it's got more images, it's going to take a little bit longer. But when you've got a big file, or when you've got a file that has a lot of images placed in it, it's a good sign to see that this package document is taking a little bit longer, because that way I know, hey, it's doing its job. Yep, package successfully. Okay. Close that. Check the desktop. Blight's Comps folder. This is a new one. What I should see in here is I have Blight's Comps. It's just a note. This is just a text file saying what my file was. Blight's Comps IDML. This is an InDesign markup language version of the file. That means that if I give this to somebody who has an older version of InDesign than CC 2018, they can open that IDML file. The InDesign file is for anybody who has CC 2018 or later, and of course it just makes a PDF, which makes it easier to print. So I've got a PDF preview. That's InDesign packages all of that, including including fonts and all my images. So they're all collected in one thing, and I'm just going to change the name here to Blight's Comps _ InDesign, And of course Photoshop, each file is its own thing, so all I have to do there is comp 1, comp 2, comp 3, and if I've got those 3 folders, these are what you should load to the Google Drive for the class after Labor Day.